Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Rolling Sports. This is where you meet the athletes, and we thank you all so much for tuning in and watching today. My name's Tyler Rowland, and I've traveled back to Virginia this weekend, and we're very excited to introduce to you an athlete for Steward School that has been making a lot of noise both on a statewide and a national level. And with me we have Sanai Green. And Sanai, it's awful good to see you here, and I know that being a part of the class 2026, you're really just getting your high school career started, but you sure put a lot into it. And talk about your training regimen and how your year's gone and what you're looking to do over the summer.
I definitely think training is very important. Training at a consistent level. I usually train 3 times a week, sometimes 5. Rest is also very important, so I definitely take one day out of the week to usually just rest and kind of sit back and relax to let my muscles rest. But I definitely do think that training is a key in every athlete's regimen, and I definitely take part in training every day.
For you, what's something that maybe over the past year, what do you feel like is something that has been a strength of yours in terms of how you played and something that sets you apart when it comes to separating you from the pack?
I definitely think that I play with a lot of heart. I kind of just leave everything on the floor because I have had a few injuries this year. But I do just take it as every game could be your last, so you never know. So I just leave it all on the floor. I use my body very well to get to the basket, go up strong, things like that.
I watched you practice today, and you look like you hadn't missed a beat. And talk about how you've been feeling, how you've overcome those injuries.
Definitely just rest. I did have a knee injury in the last tournament that I played in. So definitely just taking that time to kind of step back and focus on getting my knee back, because if I rush into it, I could make it worse. So I definitely like to take it slow, make sure everything's okay.
I know you live by a couple of important quotes, but one of them especially is about being the first one in the gym and the last one out. And that's something you seem to take to heart. Talk about that and what it means to you.
I definitely value that quote of being the first one in the gym, last one out the gym. I just think it's important to be ahead of your opponents, and I think being in the gym before them, getting shots up, working on your dribbling and things like that can kind of set you aside from everybody else.
And looking at this next year coming up, what's something that you feel like in your game that you're going to try to take to the next level?
Definitely have a more consistent jump shot. I feel like that was definitely something that I wanted to work on last year going into this year. I think that I definitely developed a good mid-range and a good three-point, but I wanted to be more consistent in the games.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk a little bit about Stewart School. I had the opportunity to cover a couple of their games last summer for the men's team. Talk about what you like about the school and what's special about it to you.
I joined Steward in 7th grade. So it was a new school for me. It was like after COVID and things like that, so I didn't really know how it was going to be going to a new school where I didn't know anybody. But I feel like the first day, like the atmosphere, it was family. Everyone was just smiley. It is a small school, so you do know everybody, but I just feel like it's a big family, and my coach Kara did definitely help with that. So.
Yeah, I know you've had the limelight on you. You've been under a lot of pressure. Talk about what that's been like, the process, and how you've handled it.
I think a lot of people think that it's very stressful, but I think if you kind of have a schedule and can handle it very well, I think it just becomes another phone call or something you can enjoy. I definitely do enjoy talking to new coaches every day and like learning about different schools. So just kind of planning for my future kind of helps plan for my future. And I think with the hard work that I put in, I think it's something I deserve.
Talk about the team at Stewart that's coming back. Talk about the team and what your expectations are this year.
So we graduated 2 seniors, and this year we have, I think, 3 new kids coming to Stewart, which will definitely add to our roster. But I definitely think that we just kind of go with the same goal to win states, to win every game. I know usually in the beginning of the year and the season, it's not going to be pretty, but we kind of just strive to push to February when the season starts to count and to make it to states.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to the opportunity for for people to get to know you a little bit better. What would be somebody, first off, who is a role model of yours? And this could be, if you have multiple role models, this could be maybe WNBA or NBA player. It could be a coach you have, just somebody to you that's a role model.
I'll probably say my coach, my high school basketball coach, and my mom. I just think my mom kind of like portrays a very high energy and like she has high expectations as well as my coach. Just to keep going and strive for the best. It's just something that I kind of live by, and to just work hard all the time, no matter what, and outwork everybody. And I think she's definitely passed that to me and kind of portrays like how I am as a person.
And so now it seems like, I mean, you seem pretty strong I know your coach, and of course I know one that just looking at her background, highly respected in the profession, and talk about her and what it's like playing for Coach Steele.
It's definitely something different. I feel like it's not something that's for everybody. I feel like you have to have a strong mindset, and you just have to be a strong-minded person, because she definitely, I would say, hard work is kind of what beats anything, and I think that's what she's like strong about. She thinks strongly about things like that. Like, we have hard practices, we run a lot. She just takes pride in being the best. So, and to be the best, you have to play the best. You have to practice the best, practice the hardest. So that's definitely things that she definitely thinks are very important as a coach.
And to you, talk to the importance of the weight room. Talk about that, and because that's something that I see that you've really hit hard in the course of your career.
I think I kind of took more pride in the weight room and took it more seriously over this year, because I kind of saw how I would have bigger competition and like bigger girls that I'm playing against. So if I'm strong and I have the skills, that's kind of like a win for me both ways. I also think it's just important to keep up with your body. Also conditioning, to stay in shape. So.
And what maybe is a cool fact about yourself that a lot of people don't know?
I like to fish. I definitely like fishing. It definitely calms my mind. When I'm not playing basketball, it's definitely a good time to just relax.
Mm-hmm.
Do like fishing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And what's something cool maybe about the area you're from? Maybe a team activity that you all do, or maybe that your coach has you do when you all get a little bit of downtime.
We volunteer. For my school, we volunteer like in the city, help out the homeless, feed the homeless, things like that. But I think, that's also something that's big for my coach, is volunteering. So that's something that we like to do in the off season.
Lastly, Sanai, are there any shout outs that you'd like to give?
Shout out to Coach Caro.
Nice. Okay, well, Sanai, we thank you so much for being on. We wish you the absolute best, and be sure to stay tuned. We're also going to have an interview with Brandon Jennings coming out here soon, and I'm going to be working on editing that. We thank you for watching Rolling Sports, where you meet the athletes.